DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, one of those Friday lunch vlogs. Yeah, I'm in the usual place, the park where I come for lunch, and nobody's around because we've had a whole week of rain and cold weather. Notice I'm even wearing a sweater and my jacket. It's been like in the morning 10, 11 Celsius, which is like low 50s in Fahrenheit approximately, and it's not been getting much higher than, let's say, high 60s in Fahrenheit, and so like in the probably 18, when we were not even getting up to 20 Celsius in the day. Anyway, well, I wasn't going to talk about the weather. I had mentioned the other day that probably one of my next vlogs would be, you know, the experiences of living as one would call an expat, so an expatriate from one's country. And I thought, well, maybe not this time. I think maybe that'll be something that I'll make a little, kind of a little series, because if I try to keep the vlogs relatively short, I can't fit that in. I mean, we started off by England and then came to Switzerland and the Swiss-German part and so on and so on. So there's too much really for one vlog, but it can be kind of like a experience of life series. Who knows what? Doesn't really matter right now. Oh, what was this week like? Well, I don't have that photographic memory that Andy does when he makes the taxi vlogs, but this week was nevertheless an interesting one. For one particular phenomena is that I was 2 days, 2 days ago, I was doing an audit series. Every now and then I have to do these, participate in these audits, or more as the go-getter, or bring the people around, because but it was for a kosher audit. So certain products or whatever have to be kosher, and anything that has to be kosher has to be audited by rabbis. I've talked about having these meetings with the rabbis before, but usually it was rabbi singular. This time it was rabbi plural. One of the rabbis was a rabbi of East European descent, maybe Polish, I think. And the other one was a good old Brooklyn boy. Both of them were Orthodox rabbis, so big hats and long beards. It was very interesting. I got into a particular discussion at one point which had nothing to do with work, but did have to do with probably more their field of work. The New York rabbi was going on about comparing, we could say, if you were presenting something and if you were not up to par, that you were not credible, and so on. And it was talking about products in general and companies, and some in particular. And at one point he brought out this example that a preacher or a rabbi or what could not give a plausible message if he himself was a dishonest person. And I told him, I'm sorry, but I said, I can't agree with you on that one. I mean, this was just a general discussion. It wasn't anything. And I said, you know, you can give a very convincing message and be yourself. I was using a religious term. I said, and be a sinner. And actually, well, in Christian theology, all of us are. And in Jewish theology as well. So finally, he looked at me and says, no. He says, you can't preach the truth. And I said, well, yes, actually you can. I said, because you could be a hypocrite and be preaching every bit the truth, and your writings, your words, your sayings could all be actually very good teaching. You just don't practice what you preach. And it is funny because he didn't enjoy that bit, I think. I realized that he was used to being very much in the position of, this was the senior rabbi, and even the way he was acting towards the junior one, so to say, was very much in the position of telling people how it was. And he really didn't like to be told that it could be some other way. Anyway, his answer to that part of the debate, and usually they like to debate, I can tell you they love to debate, was, let's get back to business. Maybe he painted himself into a corner. I don't know. Anyway, from that type of, oh, my battery's getting low. From that type of situation, though, it brought me to thinking, nevertheless, is that if you think of people in general that are in public situations, and we can talk about politicians, we can talk as well about preachers, it doesn't matter, we can talk about ourselves while you're at it, is that you can very well be an image of the truth, an image of something that you are representing without being it yourself. It's funny, but I mean, to have him say that that could not be, I was wondering what he was thinking about, because it seems to me that's a pretty self-evident situation of humanity. Anyway, somebody's coming along. So that was one of the things that happened. One of the things that happened this week, and yeah, it was an interesting one. But maybe some of you have had some of those experiences. I mean, it's like, how often have we had this? He or she just simply doesn't practice what he or she preaches. Anyway, it's kind of funny that it was coming from like I say, a rabbi, and not grabbing onto that. Is that all? Yeah, that's all. So walking along, and I'm going to get back to work now. DC signing off, and take care. Bye-bye.